this is the Hatch workspace. This is where you will be spending your time managing all your conversations from inbound, when the lead comes into your website, all the way to requesting a customer review here on the right side. This is where you manage every stage of the buyer journey. We can see here that the inbound column is all those leads that came in from Home Advisor, came in from your website. They automatically get populated into Hatch. It connects up with your CRM, so their first and last name, the company name, the job, all those things get pulled in because it connects up with MarketSharp or Improve It 360, whatever you guys are using. And then we can see the estimates that we were given, what the communications were. And then this is somebody that I'm looking to rehash, John Veraldo. So John Veraldo, he was given an estimate, and I said, hey, thanks for your time today. Attached is your estimate for the window replacement. Feel free to send me a text or email back if you have any questions. So I sent him the estimate. I sent him as an attachment. This conversation got logged, and he disappeared off the face of the earth. He didn't respond back after 48 hours. So I automatically enrolled him in what I call the window rehash campaign. I'll show you what this looks like. I launched him in this window rehash campaign, and here we see the exact text that I used in the deck I was going through earlier. Hi, John, this is Josh from WindowSource. Never heard back on your decision. I'd love to get some feedback on your project. And notice how he immediately responded and said, sorry for the delay. Life got busy and I had to chat with my wife. I'm sure you guys have seen this all the time. We are ready to move forward with the estimate at the 9K price point. Okay, great. So this person, John Veraldo, is ready to buy. Now I need to pass him off to financing. But first I'm going to say, hey, John, sounds great. I will pass you off to financing, who will take things from here. Okay, great. So notice how I can either text him or email him all in one communication. And I can even add attachments if I'd like. Let's just say it's 12 midnight and I really don't want to bother him. I can actually schedule out this text to be sent later on in the day. So the good news is that you can work whenever, whatever your schedule permits, we allow you to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just send this now. Great. And then now I'm going to pass him off to financing. So all I'll do here is move this contact to WindowSource financing, drop them in WindowSource financing inbound column. And now I've got my financing department here ready to handle this lead this customer that's ready to buy. So now financing can jump into this conversation. They'd have their own, user, but they would be able to text John and say, hey, this is Bill from financing. I see that you're ready to buy the window project at a 9K price point, and they can have that communication back and forth. And then when that person ends up making the purchase, they can tag them as sold. So I can say, new sale is $9,000. Big win. Thanks, Josh, for doing great on this deal. Rehash works. Okay. So I click save. That gets logged in my CRM as a closed won deal. The amount gets logged as well. So we've got all this data that's being passed back and forth from your CRM. So you're able to use your CRM as that version of the truth for all your reporting, and you use Hatch for all your communications. So that's an example of how Rehash works from end to end. I'm going to show you what the campaign actually looks like that we're going to drop this guy Matt in. This guy Matt, I quoted him. I sent him this email. I sent him a follow-up. I asked him if he had any questions. Hasn't gotten back to me. So I've got to rehash him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you what this campaign looks like. So I hopped on over to campaigns and I'm clicking edit. And I can see that day one message right here. I see all the personalization tokens that I can use. And the good news is, again, you don't ever have to type the person's first name. You don't have to type in even your name. It'll automatically populate, as well as any other field that you pass over from your CRM. And I see day one, text launch. Wait 2 days. You really don't want to bother your customers too much, or your prospects and leads too much. You want to give them a couple of days. And then day 4, you send this message. Have you made a decision about what you want to do with your windows? So notice how the first message, I wasn't pushy. I said, hey, I never heard back on your decision. I'd love to get some feedback and help you on your project. But I waited 2 days. And then on day 4, I ask, have you made a decision about what you want to do with your windows? You're forcing a yes, no response here, a yes, no response. So have you made a decision about your windows? If you don't get a response, then the system, Hatch's system, will automatically send an email that says estimate for contact first name. And again, these are all personalized. You can edit this, you can create your own. This is just one that is really effective for our customers and that we'll share with you after the call as part of the follow-up deck. So notice here that I said, hi first name, or hi Josh. We discussed your estimate a few weeks ago and I never heard back on your decision. I reached out a couple of times over text. Is contact phone number, or whatever the phone number that is tied to this lead, still a good number for you? I call this the Hail Mary, right? It's the Hail Mary. I mean, we're gonna be able to ask them, is this number still good for you? And if they do respond, maybe they change numbers. Maybe there's somebody else in the family that's gonna be making this decision. Whatever the case may be, you're at least trying email as well as text. And that's really important here. And heck, if you even wanna call the lead, you can do that directly in Hatch too. So let's say I want to drop Matt Miner into this rehash campaign, but first I want to give him a call. I can actually click into here and click call. And in real time, I'm calling Matt Miner. Matt Miner is actually my colleague here in the office, and I'm probably bugging him right now. I see him over here picking up his phone. So I can actually call Matt directly from Hatch. All this information gets passed to MarketSharp or Improveit 360, whatever you're doing for your CRM. That gets logged. So I gave him a call. He still didn't respond. I've got to rehash Matt, right? I got to rehash him. So we're going to drop Matt into a rehash campaign. So I'm going to go over to contacts, type in Matt Miner, click his name, select the campaign, window rehash, preview and launch. Boom. This is all done for you automatically. You don't have to do anything else besides click launch. And you can enroll multiple folks into this campaign as well. So I see here day 1 text, day 4 text, if there's no response, and then if there's no response after the text, send this email out. And then I can click launch, and then it'll immediately send Matt Miner a text. Well done, you saved the campaign to 1 contact. Boom. So we did all that work. We rehashed Matt Miner, and that's just one person we rehashed.